That was a nice finish to the preseason for us. After the first couple games, it was, kind of forget about how we can play around here, and the guys really did a nice job tonight. We didn't change the approach and who played and all that, with a few exceptions, but it was just a really nice effort. Defense did great, and we mixed the run game with the passing game the way we like to, and it just was a nice, solid football game for us. Just the penalties were ridiculous, particularly in the special teams. But I mean, it was a night where a lot of things kind of just worked for us, and I felt really good and had fun doing it, all the way down to Mike's last kick. And I tell Mike, don't let him return this last kick. And so he boomerangs one, and then Aaron Fuller makes just a phenomenal play to keep that ball in bounds. And it was just kind of an accent and an exclamation point to the night. We got a lot of work to do now, and getting ready for the opener, and we'll turn our sights to that as soon as we get to putting the roster together.
Why decide to sit Russ, Bobby, and a bunch of your other starters all preseason?
That was the way we basically approached it for the whole preseason, to make sure that we maximize the opportunity to see the other guys, and not just see them, but knowing that so many of these guys are going to be on our team. We wanted to take them as far as we could, and get them as ready to back up and to support the effort throughout. And so.
Why this summer over other summers to do it that way?
I think from stuff that we've learned, last summer, and so leave it that succinct.
Was this an important hurdle for Dee Eskridge today?
Yes, it was. Yeah, I mean, it is when a guy's never played before and he gets a chance to get out there. He felt great, had fun, liked it. He's really pumped up about moving forward, and he's had a couple really good weeks for us and looked terrific. So there was nothing different about it. He's a good ball player. He's fast and he's quick and explosive, and his hands are really strong and really good. His mentality is really strong about competing and all this. So, man, he looks like the guy we had hoped that we would get when we picked him, and we're thrilled about it this time. He's got a lot of work to do to catch up and to play, first flight football in a real game and all.
I know you need to watch the film to really have an evaluation, but Daryl Taylor just seemed like he took his physicality and his speed off the edge to a different level tonight.
He's been flashy throughout the preseason. He hasn't been able to quite get it together to make some plays that he wants to make, but I thought he really showed again. This is a guy that just missed everything last year, so we just had to just keep playing him and just leave him out there and get him a ton of reps. And like I've said the whole time, he's just had made so much progress this offseason with us, and that was great for him to get celebrate sack and a half tonight, and he had fun with the guys about that, and so we'll take this next step. I'm really happy for him.
Any more clarity on Trey Brown and his knee?
Clarity, he had a mild sprain. Nothing that warrants any work or any of that kind of stuff. Just a mild sprain. He feels good already. We might have been able to play him, if we had to, but we didn't. And so right now, all of those decisions we would make, to the conservative right now, and not push any of those guys, knowing that we have 2 weeks to get ready. So he'll be ready to go.
Geno didn't get to do much because of the concussion and this next game. Just good to see him out there in the offense.
Oh, it was great to see Geno get to work. Yeah, and to run around a little bit too, and he had a nice night. I think I saw 11 for 15, and had 2 really key scrambles. I thought for sure he was going to score on the one. I got to see the film. I don't know what happened, but that was really important. And I was hoping to get 2 full games like that, and then the third one see what we needed to do. But with him missing the second game, it was I'm really glad he got out there and got to play some ball. And he's had a great camp. He looked so good during the camp. So we just didn't quite get him going in game 1 and before he got whacked. And so it was really important.
Years being that number 2 behind Russell Wilson has meant, getting to do nothing during the seasons. What you see that maybe fans don't about Geno, just the kind of player he is.
Yeah, good. Geno is a terrific team player. He's got such a personality and attitude about playing the supporting role that this position calls for when you're playing behind a great player. And every day he battles. It matters to him how he competes in practice every day. He always has a great attitude. He's very helpful and communicative with Russ. They really hit it off, and they've kind of grown together, and they're really important as they evaluate the process and helps him on the sidelines and in the locker room and all that kind of stuff. They just have a great conversation ongoing, and so he's got great value. He has a great arm. He's a great thrower, and he's a good athlete. He's a really good ball player, and we're lucky to have him on our team. I feel bad for him always that he doesn't get to play more, but it's been hard to get on the field when Russ is doing what he does. So, but we're very lucky to have him.
What did you think of Ratigan tonight, and what have you seen from him?
Man, I was fired up about John. This was a guy that did a lot of cool things when he was well and healthy with us, building up, and then he just had this long, muscle thing he had to get through. It just took way longer than we wanted to, but gosh, I thought he played really nice tonight. I mean, that's the guy did flash at me, and in special teams as well. It was really important for John to show us something, and I was really happy for him. I thought he played really well. I thought he looked explosive, and he's got the great feet that he has. We all know that whatever that dance thing that he does, he's got some unbelievable moves. But his feet are remarkable. And you see too that he's an experienced player. He knows when he gets in those situations, he finds his way to navigate to the positive. And he's been doing it his whole life. He's been a highly productive player in college. I don't mind telling you that there's only one other guy that had 3,000 yards seasons in the SEC. Herschel Walker was the other guy. So I love giving him that credit because that's an amazing accomplishment. So anyway, played really good.
Does he look different now than he did when you first had him?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, he has looked different. His body sculpture is different. And the way he's conditioned and shaped himself is much different than he was. He was trying to be big and thought he needed to be big to be in the league, and at least that's what it looked like. And so he's turned it around.
He had 5 catches tonight. How important is it, not just for him, but for your entire running back core, the pass catching aspect?
Yeah, I think he had 7. Matter of fact, the numbers I had were 7, which is a huge night. Not to correct the media, of course, but. It's hugely important to be available, and the more things that you can do, then the better it is for us. When we put a guy in the game, if a guy can only block or he can only run or he can only catch, then you get taken advantage of. And I thought Josh Johnson did a really nice job tonight too, catching the ball, and so it looks all of our guys can do that. One of the things that has happened too is Homer's coming back. Travis had a great prep this week, and in the next couple of weeks, he makes his bid too. So we should be getting stronger. Again, we made it out without anybody getting banged up tonight, which is hugely important, and so grateful for that for everybody. And so we'll move ahead here with a pretty full group, coming back.
What's going on with Jay?
He had a groin thing, and then he in pass rush 2 days ago he tweaked something a little bit different. Showed up on MRI. It was slight, but it was enough. And what he felt, was enough to keep him out of the game. So unfortunately, he didn't get a chance to play. We really didn't get to see much of him.
You know how long that might take to get him back?
It should be a week or so, because it isn't a major injury at all. It's just, but what he felt showed up, and we saw it, and so we just have to take care of him.
Have you seen enough from him that you know where he might fit, or you see?
We'll have to wait and see. Talk about that.
Did Nick Balor do enough to nail down the starting lineup?
Nick Balor, leading tackler in the game tonight. How about that? Dang. I think he had 6 tackles in that. Nick's amazed me. He's had such a great surge in his career since he's been with us. All of the best stuff that he's ever done, it seems to me, has come out in the last couple of years. Shoot, he's in the frickin' Pro Bowl. So he kind of doesn't surprise you with it. He did something again. He was really good on defense for us in a couple of games here, and we forgot about his linebacker play. We knew he did, and he had played there, but we didn't really give him a chance. We always were playing him on the other side of the ball, and so now he's one of those all-time NFL two-way performers now. So
his transition to defense give you an opportunity to have 5 running backs?
I don't know if specifically that's what's going to happen. I don't know that. We'll see. But he's given us all the flexibility he could ever want. He can play both sides of the ball. I thought Josh played really well, and I got a chance to watch Josh extensively before he got to us, and he looks the best that he's looked since I've seen him, and very aggressive kid, been really a good practice player for us, and really consistent, and he's carried to the games. He's been very aggressive.
Is DJ
Dallas okay, or was he just held out?
Yeah, he had a little something that was just nagging him a little bit. He was dying to play tonight. I told him 3 different times, no, you don't get to play. He was dying to get out there, but he's had a pretty good camp now. He's had a very clear statement that he's made, that he belongs.
A lot of decisions to be made over the next few days. I'm sure it comes down to individual positions, looking at different things. But are there overarching things that you were hoping to see from players tonight that would help you make the decision?
There are really a lot of specific concerns, like you said first. That's really what this was. I mean, yeah, I wanted to see us play really good defense for the whole night, and I want to see us run the football, and I want to see those things and protect the quarterback. Those are the big things that we wanted to see, and see if the young guys could get better. They've been busting their tails to do it, and I'm glad that they got rewarded with a real good performance. But it's more, the focus is really on the specific guy that's fitting into the roster and has a chance to do this and do that and all that. So, a lot of these guys are going to be on this team. A ton of these guys, and I'm sure I've said a number of times, the 16-man practice squad is a tremendous move for the league, in my opinion, and we'll try to take full advantage of what that allows, and the veteran players that can be on that as well. It's just so much better for your club and for the health of your team. And the flexibility. There's another way to kind of have fun and compete, with your roster and all that. So, a bunch of these guys, they've made great statements to be part of it.
That was Marquis Blair's first game action since our
Yeah,
it took
yeah.
right off the bat to get
Right off the bat, he got active and did some stuff. And you're thinking of the touchdown play. That was terrific. But also, like, the first run play that he had a shot at, he just blasted in the backfield and went after him and showed the kind of mentality and instincts that he's shown us before. So he came out of the game great, and we got him enough plays to get him started, and he'll have 2 weeks to get ready for the opener. And so, we're thrilled that he was able to come back and do that. So, excuse me, but that's the point that we're making, that some guys had a chance to validate, kind of what we had been thinking, and that had maybe not had that opportunity before. So it was really important for specific guys to get on the field and do a nice job and all that.
Do you have any better sense for how Colby Parkinson's progressing back from his injury?
Oh man, he's trying. He's making a bid for it. He's on ground running this week for the first time. He's been on all the equipment and stuff, the Ultra G and all that kind of stuff, making really good progress. He's been really hopeful about it. So we're going to keep our fingers crossed that he has a chance to get back and compete to be on the team.
Quandre went through pregame.
Excuse me?
Quandre went through pregame warm-ups tonight.
Yeah.
Do you anticipate him actually participating in practice next week?
We'll see. We'll talk about it. And we've had great conversations, and it's important that we were able to really address where he is and where he's coming from, and I got a chance to hear him out and all of that, and I think the world of this guy. He's an amazing competitor, tough as hell in every way, and really, I can't imagine not playing with him.
Cedric and Ethan, are they both okay?
Cedric and Ethan. Okay, totally different situations where both guys practiced this week, and we just thought it would be better if we didn't, expose them, so that now we got them, to compete for the opener. So it's unfortunate for both those guys, because both those guys were in really markedly obvious head-to-head competitions, and I was really kind of had fun with giving those guys the chance to battle, and neither one of them had the chance to really make their statement for on the field, and they're different. Ethan's played a lot of football for us, and we know how he plays. Cedric didn't get as much of an opportunity, but still, I can't tell you how what's going on with that right now. I don't have to, but I feel bad for those guys, because it was really going to be cool to watch it happen and watch it unfold, and so Kyle's done a nice job, and Bichelle did a really good job again throughout all of the work that he's done. So we're in good shape right now, depth-wise, with those guys still ready to battle. And I'm not saying anything's over. We'll see what happens.
All right, thank you.
See ya.